All right, here's the aftermath. It could have been better. Could have been worse. UFC 324 on Paramount Plus. It was ads galore. Ads. I got the premium version. The premium version had a good amount of ads, but I heard the non-premium or the standard version was worse. Walkouts in between the rounds. Ads. So I get why they're putting ads everywhere. It's their product now, and they're trying to make their money back. And I said this in the last video. They're trying to get their bang for their buck because what they're being left off with isn't as exciting as when ESPN got the UFC. Overall, the fight card itself, UFC 324, is pretty solid. I'll say that. And one thing that was introduced the day of, where they announced the bonus awards for performance and fight of the night. Initially, it's always been 50K. 50 Gs every year after year. Every now and then they would do 75K. Now they raised it to 100,000. And that was, I think that's been a long time coming when it comes to making that move for the fighters. And on top of that, they added that every fighter that got a finish, no matter if it was a submission or if it was a knockout, you get an extra 25K on top of what you got. So no, that's game changing. And that's another thing that should have been implemented a long time ago to entice the up and coming fighters. The up-and-coming fighters, the newbies, the rookies all get 10K to show, 10K to win. A 25,000 bonus on top of that is something to fight for. Now, when it comes to the bonus awards that were awarded for Fight of the Night and Performance of the Night, Josh Hockett, Ty Miller, shout out to them. They were on the early preliminary card, so I call them the dark bouts, and they were way at the beginning. They got their bonuses there where they had TKOs, so good for them to get that going. And Josh Hockett had one of the funnier post-fight interviews I've seen in a minute, where he called out Waldo Cortez Acosta, which I thought was funny. And then Josh Hockett is undefeated, so hats off to them with those finishes there. And then Fight of the Night, of course, was the main event itself. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Paddy, hats off to him. He did way better than I thought when it came to surviving. He survived that fight there. He got beat up. There was moments where I thought he's done. He's done. It doesn't matter. Barring the few eye pokes that Justin Gaethje had. And again, that's for a different discussion where a lot of fighters do the fouls and get away with a lot of it when it comes to the eye pokes, nut kicks, the defense grabs. Overall, Paddy held his own against Justin Gaethje. And Justin Gaethje he's shown his age. He still has the power. The habits don't die for Justin Gaethje, though, where he sees red and he goes after it. And I think that's going to be his downfall when it comes to unifying the lightweight belt. He has the interim championship now. What's next for him? Of course, it's going to be Topuria. And Topuria is probably watching this and saying, that's easy money, just because of the way Justin Gaethje abandons game plans and he likes to entertain a crowd. He's an entertainer. That's the thing with Justin Gaethje. He has that ability to take it to the next level when it comes to advancing his game, advancing his strikes. I like to think of the Tony Ferguson fight where he had a masterful game plan to take out Tony Ferguson. In this instance, he wanted that first and second round finish, which really led to a lot of damage and a lot of close moments for him to lose the fight. Hats off to Justin Gaethje. He wins the belt. He got Fight of the Night. Obviously, it's Fight of the Year already for 2026. But now we go on to Paddy Pimblett, and what's next for him? Well, what's next for him is, there's a lot of, he's shown that he's a top 10 talent. The thing is, he should be eased back into getting into the title picture. He himself saying he's 31, still youngish in the game. The next fight that makes sense for him, I think, would be Gamrot. And Gamrot's coming off a loss as well. So get time to heal up, because I saw a comment from one of my cousins. He's saying, Paddy Pimblett looked like Longlegs from a movie with Nicolas Cage. And I was like, damn, I can't unsee it. So Paddy Pimblett takes some time off. I think Gamrot would be the next fight for him. But going through the main card, I got the Justin Gaethje prediction right. And then Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong was up next. Overall, this fight was kind of more disappointing than anything. I thought those two would be a lot more technical. There'd be a lot more moments. There was, for Sean O'Malley, the last minute where there was glimpses of what he has, his swagger and everything. Beforehand, it was kind of just dull overall. Song Yadong had a game plan when it came to controlling Sean O'Malley on the ground and utilizing the ground and pound and utilizing the clinch to get Sean O'Malley and tag him there, because Sean's pretty long. He's lengthy. And Song didn't go with it in the third round there, which was kind of odd to me. And so it led to stagnation. I felt like Sean won that fight with the first round being super close, even though there was that takedown. It's probably the most disappointing fight I've seen from this card here, mostly because I was hyping it up to a lot of my casual friends and saying, yeah, Sean O'Malley's that dude, Song Yadong's that dude. Next up for Sean O'Malley, though, I don't think it'll be the title shot. I think they're going to give that straight to Merab. Deservingly so. It's going to be Merab versus Peter Yan. So Sean O'Malley on the sidelines, I don't think he's going to do that. And I saw something that popped up during the card there where I was like, that's perfect. And it's been something I've been wanting for a while. Length versus length. Yeah, Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley, I think, is the next fight to make. It's something that I've been thinking of. It's perfect matchmaking. Even though Sandhagen's coming off a loss, Sean O'Malley would probably take that fight more so than fighting Umar, which is the other winner that we had earlier. I think the UFC would go in that direction to have Sean O'Malley matched up with Corey Sandhagen more so than Umar Nurmagomedov. As far as Song Yadong goes, I was thinking maybe a rematch with Marlon Vera, maybe fighting someone that is on a win streak like Zahabi. I think he's on a 6 or 7 fight win streak, and I think that'd be perfect for him to get back into the title picture, the title run. I think Song Yadong goes there, but overall with that fight, disappointing. I thought there'd be a little more back and forth, not as much as like what I expected with Gaethje and Pimblett. Again, it was a meh fight. Heavyweight. And that's Waldo Cortez Acosta and Derek Lewis. I got that prediction right where I thought Waldo Cortez Acosta would solidify himself to be a top 5 contender. And I think it was more so that I was wishing for someone to be in that picture because we've just seen the same guys over and over again. Ciryl Gane, Tom Aspinall, we don't know if that fight will get rematched. Waldo Cortez Acosta brings new blood into the division there, especially for the title picture. And him taking out Derek Lewis. Yeah, Derek Lewis looked like he just quit. It was kind of weird. He was throwing punches. He had good form throwing those punches there, and then he just gets tagged, and then he just lays down, and then slowly but surely Waldo Cortez Acosta mounted him, got on him, and just beat him till he got pulled off by the ref, which surprised me. I thought it would be more of a stand-up knockout. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing there. And again, Derek Lewis is there with his age. It's kind of weird how that happened, how that all played out. But props off to Waldo Cortez Acosta. Next fight for him. I mean, we could see him fight a Volkov. We could see him fight Almeida. But the thing is, will he take those fights? Or will he wait? He could wait and maybe be that person to be like, yeah, I'll fight Tom Aspinall because it's a fresh matchup. Who knows? With that, Derek Lewis, he's been saying he wants to fight taxi drivers. And that's what happened with him. He compared Teixeira to a taxi driver. I feel like he thought Waldo or Cortez Acosta would be the same way. But Derek Lewis probably take a break because of his age and then get back into it at the end of the year. And we'll see how the heavyweight picture shapes up for him. But for Waldo Cortez Acosta, definitely get a fight in to solidify himself to be that number 1 contender for whoever fights for the belt. Tom Aspinall, John Jones, Ciryl Gane, who knows? But I got that prediction right. And then with the main card, Natalia Silva, Rose Namajunas. I heard this is the fight where I heard it was ads galore, ads for everyone with the standard edition, and with what I got. I mean, I wish I would have saw ads because this fight was kind of oh my goodness. So Rose Namajunas always fights timid. And she's always been fighting timid ever since she's lost the belt. This Rose Namajunas within the flyweight division hasn't been the same compared to her strawweight run. I thought she won that fight, even though I predicted for Natalia Silva to win it. I wanted Natalia Silva to win it mostly because it would be a good fresh matchup for Valentina Shevchenko. But now I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know now. Natalia Silva pulls out a unanimous decision, even though I thought Rose did enough to win the first. It was just an odd fight where nothing really happened. And so that was a women's flyweight fight that was put on the main card for the world to see. And I don't think that was the ideal fight that people were thinking would happen because, this was a title eliminator of some sorts. When it comes to Natalia Silva, I think she will be fighting for the belt next because it is a fresh matchup. And then the last fight there, for the main card that I was making predictions on was John Silva, Arnold Allen. I mean, got this one wrong. I mean, John Silva, he's a funny guy. He did good. He did real good. He was toying around with him at the end and, stepping on his back and stuff, looking like Frogger and everything. But John Silva, What the fight I want for him next, and this guy's been on the sidelines for so dang long. Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez thinks he's should be gifted a title shot just because he beat a old pit bull, and I don't think that's the way to go. You need to have that showcase done, and this is an exciting fight. John Silva versus Yair Rodriguez, and I think that would solidify the next contender for the featherweight championship with the excitement factor coming into play for Paramount Plus. Yeah, I think that's a fight to make next for the winner there. Arnold Allen, take a step back, see how the division shapes up. I still like him as a fighter. He's lost a lot of the big fights that's been given to him. And so just see how everything shapes up for him for now. Maybe get the loser of Volkanovski and Lopez, even though I think Volkanovski might retire when he fights next week, but we'll see. And so I got that prediction wrong, and then we got Umar Nurmagomedov, Davison Figueiredo. Figueiredo misses weight again, of course. It was a there fight. Not really much happened, but Umar showed why he's at the top of the division. Figueiredo was just backing up the whole time, which was just caught me off guard. I thought he would press, mostly because I thought that was his last chance to make a run. Other things I've noticed when it came to this fight card here, prayers for Cameron Smotherman. The weigh-in itself for UFC 24 was kind of insane, and Cameron Smotherman was the one who fell face planted onto the stage there. Hopefully he's fine, and it just showcases though the weight cuts are pretty insane, and even for championship level type fighters, all the way down to the guys who are just getting into MMA, it's tough, and you can just sense that when they are weighing in. So it's just kind of sucked to see that. And I know a lot of other fighters missed weight. Figueiredo was one of them. Alex Perez is one of them. And so a lot of them just need to reassess where they're going to be when it comes to continuing this career or even just moving up a weight class. Another thing that happened was Mark Smith blew his ACL during UFC 324. I heard about a referee getting carried out of the premises there, and I was like, oh, what happened? But it was Mark Smith, yeah, so prayers up to him where, he tore his ACL. I know a lot of family members around me have torn their ACL, and I heard it is bad business, so hopefully he's fine there. And then the fight that I was kind of hyping up, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fight of the night, mostly because I think these guys are gonna go at it a lot because of their positions in their careers. Michael Johnson, Alexander Hernandez. Yeah, it got pulled off. I guess it was confirmed that the fight was pulled due to betting concerns. So I'm like, oh, how does that work? One of them betting too much, or one of them gambling, one of them trying to take a fall? I really thought that was gonna be a firefight, and that was my pick for fight of the night. Another thing that happened here was with the card was Dominic Cruz got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Long overdue. The Dominator. He has his own style. A lot of people may have disliked it, but for me, he knew the game. And so as far as commentating goes, he's not the best at it, but he still has a mind for it. And it showed when he fought in the octagon. And he was so good at what he did when it came to the movement. A lot of other fighters couldn't adapt to what he did, fighting him or even just trying to mimic what he did. So yeah, first card of the year down, first card of this new Paramount Plus era down. We'll see where it goes from here. They're going straight to another numbered event for the next fight card, UFC 325, which would be Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez 2, which it's a fight that I am not really totally excited for. But overall with this card here, UFC 324, just thinking about it now, apart from the main event itself was super fire. It's a fight I would definitely recommend to my friends. It had me on my feet. But with the rest of the main card, it was kind of a letdown in a way. The saving grace was the main event, and that's something that I think will stay for the rest of the year. People will look back at the end of the year and be like, oh yeah, this was the fight that kicked off the year. Not so much the card kicked off the year, it was this fight. So thank goodness for Paddy Pimblett being game, keeping pace with Justin Gaethje and his relentlessness. And Justin Gaethje, he's a soldier, he's a warrior. They're both warriors. So I think that's what paid off when it came to this fight, starting off the year right.